Hey guys, this is an ancient cave in India, and I bet you have never seen this on social media before. It is very strange and has remained a puzzle for archaeologists and historians. Why? Because we see finished cave temples like this fabulous temple, or you see some almost completely failed attempts. But this cave stands in between. After scooping out nearly 50% of the rocks, for some strange reason, ancient builders abandoned it and left this cave. First, let me show you the deep, dark areas. It has some crazy details. There is something very unusual about this cave. Look here, this chamber here is so narrow that nobody can go inside. It's only about 12 inches wide, and an average human's shoulder width is 16 inches. So how did humans go inside this? You can see several narrow trapezoid-shaped chambers, but they're very, very narrow. Let me squeeze into one of them and show you what's inside. See, they end abruptly. What is the purpose of these chambers? There are several narrow chambers like these here. How did human beings squeeze inside and carve to the very end? And this is how these chambers look without an external light source. It is almost pitch black here. So how did they create these really narrow chambers where no one can go inside in these deep, dark areas? You can get butterflies in your stomach if you explore this alone. There seems to be some strange aspect about its architecture. A maze-like complex system has been attempted with many chambers. Some of these chambers are so small you cannot even enter them, but they're in random places with no rhyme or reason. And we can see this going left and right, and even the height of the floor changes. Suddenly, it goes underground. This dip goes 2 to 3 feet. But why? Were they trying to go underground? Were they trying to build a basement? And this cave shows something extraordinary. It shows how they removed the rocks, and it defies the conventional explanation. See, this type of cave is called the Cutin Architecture, meaning you start from the front of the hill and you start removing rocks as you keep going forward. But we're looking at the middle of the cave here. You see that they've not finished this part here. It looks like a mess, right? But they've almost finished the back of the cave. You see how the pillars, arches, and even the wall is finished at the back. And let me show you the front of the cave now. Yes, this is how it looks. You would have never guessed that a temple with such a finished look would have an unfinished look only in the middle. And what's even more weird, look at the ceiling. It's not only completely finished, it's even polished to look smooth. But the floor? This is an absolute mess. You cannot even walk a few feet without stumbling. But something is even more important. Look at the rock cutting technique here at the floor. It looks like they used giant earth movers to scoop out these rocks. You can see large vertical tracts of solid rock being removed. I call this the ancient scooping technique. If you go to ice cream shops, you can see how they use a simple device and scoop out some ice cream from the bed. We can see the exact same technique here. I've shown you the same scooping technique in other ancient sites like Sigiriya in Sri Lanka. You can scoop out ice cream because it is very soft. But imagine using a device and scooping out solid rock. Imagine what kind of device could do that. Now, look at the walls. It looks like someone used an earth mover and scooped on the walls too. You can see the remaining pieces on the side here. Again, on the floor, you can see these chunks missing right next to it, as though an earth mover scooped out the rock. This does not look like the tool marks of chisels and pickaxes. And here, look at these wave patterns. These patterns will be created by a typical earth-moving machine today, except that the earth movers can only make these patterns on dirt. They cannot make this on hard rock. They look like water channels, as though they were made to drain water. If these were made using primitive tools like chisels and hammers, why didn't they progressively carve from the front to the back? Why did they just leave the middle like this while almost finishing the front and back? Now, how old is this cave? Even by conservative estimates of archaeologists, this cave is about 1500 years old. Yes, experts claim it was built around 475 AD. But since it's impossible to date stone, this cave could be much, much older. Now, why did ancient builders just abandon this cave and took off? According to archaeologists, people were working on this cave, and when the reigning king died in 477 AD, they just stopped working. However, locals tell a very different story and point to a strange evidence. Let me show you this evidence. You see this line? According to some locals, this line marks the water level during a great flood that happened many thousands of years ago. You can see this line going all the way here, and there was water up to this level completely flooding the cave. And this is really why ancient builders abandoned this cave. When the ancient builders were in the middle of scooping out rocks, the flood rose all the way up to this height, and they had to leave. And you may think, okay, so the water was knee-deep. But no, let me show you the outside. This is the actual ground level, and this cave is actually more than 250 feet above the ground level. Yes, this is the actual ground level. It's a riverbed, and this cave is located in the Ajanta cave complex. So the Great Flood was not knee-deep. It had risen up more than 250 feet to fill the cave complex. Is it possible that this cave, only known as Cave 24, was created during much, much earlier times, perhaps thousands of years ago? Did a great flood stop the construction? Is this why this cave looks so different from the rest of the Ajanta caves? I've been researching Ajanta caves for many years now, and the stories about them are very interesting. Yes, that's me in 2015, pointing to the same water line in the same cave. At that time, a local even told me that this cave was originally built to save people from the flood. It's a very strange thought that these caves were created high above the ground level because people thought a great flood would come and created these caves as shelters to save them from the flood. But I've never posted about Ajanta caves on my channel because this mystery needs more time and effort to demystify. So, What do you think? Why would ancient builders create such a strange cave? Why would they scoop out the rocks so randomly? Why did they finish the front and back while leaving the middle part unfinished? What did they use to scoop out the rock? Ancient machines or primitive tools? And what about this line? Was there a flood thousands of years ago? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I am PraveenMohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.